Hey guys, welcome back. I've got a really quick video for you today because as you can see, there's not a whole lot of photos on this spread. This is a Project Life week 15 and I'm not really sure what happened. I just forgot to take photos. These four are pretty much the only photos I had for the week. I just want to show you that you can still find ways to put a Project Life spread together with only a few photos. Obviously, the first thing I've done is I've made a big photo. So I've enlarged my photo to 6x8 and then split it to fit into the pockets. It's my husband Shane's 44th birthday, so it deserved having a big photo. It was such a crappy photo though. We got through the whole day and he was having his dessert of his birthday meal before I realized that we had not even taken a birthday photo. So poorly lit, in the dark, it's nearly winter here, there's zero light. The photo was terrible, so I immediately converted it to black and white. The same goes for the bottom 4x6 down there of me and Lil. Again, very terribly lit photo. I black and whited it. Of course, I did all of this before I realized that I was only going to have 4 photos, so there's a little bit of color in the other 2 photos, and that's kind of what I want to focus on. So I am using cards out of my stash this week. You can see the huge pile of them there. And when I work from my huge box of cards like that, it can sometimes take me more time than I would like to try and choose some cards. Today though, I only have 3 spots to fill. It didn't take as long as I had thought, and I had some pretty helpful kind of themes, I guess, because it was just one of those weeks. It was one of those weeks. That card down the bottom there says it all. Blah. Exactly. So I pulled that out. It was never really going to work as an actual card on my layout, but I'm going to turn it into an embellishment, and so I kind of picked the color scheme from there. There's a little bit of pink in those stamps, a little bit of blue, and so I'm going to end up with it's a very light kind of teal and pink sort of theme. I've picked out a couple of pink alpha stickers there to use on the spread. I've got one of those not best day ever stamp sets from Kelly Stamps, which I love. It's going to be a really quick spread to put together apart from this part. So I am going ahead and fussy cutting around this word. It did take a little bit of time. I decided to cut reasonably close to the word, but I am leaving a little outline of that teal color because that's really the main part that I wanted to use here. It does take me a little bit of time. I have sped through it considerably faster here. If only I could fussy cut this quickly. Now the other thing that I have gone ahead and done is, this is a 4x6 card and it does have a little bit, it's very hard to see here, those stripes are some blue colored stripes, so it worked nicely with the photo, and it's just the issue that I had with it is that because it's on that kind of creamy colored background, it's definitely not white, it makes that white card stand out a little bit, so we'll have to deal to that. Now it says blurg. I didn't want to leave it at that because despite being, you know, like one of those weeks, I did try to make the best of it. So I've added a little stamp under there that just says doing my best. That kind of summed it up pretty nicely for me. Now the next thing I want to do before I go too far, and there's not a whole lot of far to go, to be fair, I'm going to do my title card and then I can work out how much I need to balance out some of those colors. Now I've got these larger chipboard alphas from Citrus Twist. I love them. I had enough E's left over. I could spell out week. They don't have numerals, so I had to come up with a different plan for my week number. And what I decided to do was that because it was going to be a relatively basic title card, I was going to spell out the word 15 instead of putting numerals in there. I didn't have enough E's to do that with the same alpha, so I needed a different alpha. These are my favorite little foam alphas from Citrus Twist. I had originally picked out the pink lot, not realizing at the time that they did not have enough ease either. So I went back into my stash and grabbed out these white ones. There's definitely more contrast in real life than there is here on the video. You can actually read the word 15, and just to give a little bit more color, and I wanted to tie in some of the red that's in my stamp photo there. I did use a red label. Now these printable labels were from Citrus Twist from Christmas, from the December kit, and I'm still going through them. So I've got that little pot sitting on my desk full of them. It's very handy in situations like these. And that's it for the title card. All I did was date stamp it, add a little heart, and call that done. So now at least I know the kind of colors that I need to work with. I've added that little bit of red. I'm going to add a couple of other colors in here just to stop it being too themey. But what I am going to use is I am going to use those foam alphas a little bit more. And I've also got this stamp set from Citrus Twist. I'm not sure if it's available still or not. If anything I'm using is still available, I'll link it in the description box. But the thing I love about this alpha set is that it matches the foam alphas. So although it's not exactly the same, it's the same basic font, and so I like the way that they work together. Plus it means I have an endless supplies of ease in these stamps, and so I can stamp a little title on here. I just put "This is 44." I have stamped it in white ink, so that's my Brilliance Moonlight white ink, and then I'm going to add a little bit of color with some sequins. These are super old sort of adhesive sequins, and so the adhesive is not great anymore, I will say. But I liked that it had, it's a kind of pink. It's not the right pink, but it's a kind of pink. It had a little bit of those blues, and I'm adding a few little gold ones as well. I'm going to spill them down onto the 3x4 card underneath there as well, just to make that a little bit more of a focus for the week. So I'm adding as much of these colors as I can, and I feel like the black and white photos are a little bit different than usual, and adding those little pops of color like I'm going to do down here. I realize I've got one E. I can spell out the word playtime, so I'm just going to add that down there, and I love the way the color kind of pops off those black and white photos. So despite me not having great photos and having to convert them into black and white, it becomes like a positive for me, I think. Like it's just another different way of highlighting some of those colored alphas and colored embellishments so they don't just get lost onto the spread. Now, this one is, I sent out a stack of Happy Mail cards to people that I had done a little giveaway on Instagram. I finally got those sent away. The stamp says "so done," and I'm just changing that whole sentiment by partially inking the "done" because it was such an achievement rather than a giving up sort of thing. So I love how that worked as well. I very quickly went and ran that journaling card through my typewriter. I just did not worry about the fact that it was white in the end. I've added pink journaling again to add a little bit of color. And then I stamped a tiny sentiment down the bottom because there was a little bit of a gap at the bottom of my journaling. My typewriter isn't playing nice. And I called my spread done. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there are a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.